Welcome back to the Cold Slice podcast. You might be wondering why the hell the camera's shaking or why I'm standing out in the middle of a field. Right now, we're at Brothers Cascadia. It's called the Hazel Dell Commons as well. The Hazel Dell Commons has a ton of food carts ready for you to try. This place was purchased back in 2017. It is literally the heart of Hazel Dell now. It was at one point an automotive shop, but back in 2017, it was purchased by these guys. We're going to show you what's on the inside here. We're going to do a little bit of a walkthrough. You have plenty of places to eat here. And I think we're going to show you a few of them, but let's get a little bit of a shot of where we're talking about. I mean, we are actually standing out in the field. It's freezing out. There's the three of us here. We just got a new studio, so we figured we'd do something in the field a little bit. So let's get to it.
All right, we're going to take a walk around Hazel Dell Commons. This is the Cold Slice. We are highlighting local businesses here in the Hazel Dell Commons. Behind me, we have Hautebox. It's a great pizza joint. Just talked to the owner, Wendy. We're going to do a little interview with her. And we just tried her pizza special for George Washington's birthday on President's Day. And pepperoni pizza. It's excellent. And we got Les Bois. We just ordered some nice Cajun-style food from them. We're also going to do another interview with them as they're owners of the place. We got Mighty Bowl back here. I'm tripping over stuff. I'm freezing my balls off. This is Mighty Bowl. They're pretty cool. And they'll be back short. Oh, they're back. They said they'd be back shortly. There they are. Okay, we're going to talk to them as well. And this is Bahn Mi Saigon. Very cool Bahn Mi place. And yeah, I think we're going to highlight all of them. And one more thing. Special thing about the Hazel Dell Commons, we got a jiu-jitsu location, dojo, whatever, and Brothers Cascadia, whole gambit. Got food, got beer, and they're open, ready for business.
Alrighty, so this is Anthony with the Cold Slice, and I'm standing here with...
I'm Wendy.
Wendy, and Wendy, what is the name of your establishment?
Hautebox Woodfire.
Hautebox Woodfire. Yeah. Okay, some of the greatest pizza we have had in a minute, to be honest with you.
I like that.
We put some of those pictures up too for you guys so you can check it out. But she was nice enough to let us ask a few questions. So just trying to get an idea of how you came to be. So what made you decide pizza?
Okay, so my story is kind of funny because I was actually a school teacher for years, which was great. I lived up north. We moved down 2012, taught school down here. A friend of mine bought a cafe in downtown Camas, and I asked her if she wanted help, and she said sure. I had zero restaurant experience at all, but I went in and I started cooking. I fell in love with it. I always knew I would. 4 kids, I always knew I'd love cooking. So I went in and right. So I started cooking, and I quit teaching, and I just cooked full time. And then a friend of mine said that this truck came available, and I said I don't like pizza. My little secret. And so my husband and I came and looked at it, and we didn't like it, and so we weren't going to do it. And then I started looking at cooking with fire, and I decided I wanted to try it, so we did it. My husband said it's ridiculous because we've never done it. We cook a different kind of food. I'm a teacher by education. I've got student loans, and I said, well, let's go for it. So here we are.
That's a great
Never
story.
Look back. Never look back.
Too, because their menu. So we'll put up a shot of that as well for you guys. But they do a lot. They have some really, really awesome pizzas to choose from. But then on top of that, they also have Hautebox hot dogs that they do, which some of those are awesome too. I've actually had the bacon and blue, which was fantastic. If you're a blue cheese fan, go for it. It's good. Also, it's hard to go wrong with bacon, so that's an easy win.
Yeah.
So pizzas. With what we do at the Cold Slice, we always kind of start with our standard of the pepperoni. But you had mentioned when we talked to you earlier, you mentioned a funny comment about how you handle kind of your standard for people that aren't used to pizza over here. So
what I've learned in my time, I've been just 2.5 years now doing this, is that there's like this whole pizza subculture that because I was a breakfast chef and a teacher, I had no idea about. So there's all these different kinds of pizza that I have no clue what they are. And I'm okay with that because what I do instead is I just like to play. But what happens is people bring their friends or their relatives from New York or Chicago or somewhere where they have this pizza subculture, and they come here and they tell me they're from New York and that I should be intimidated, and I'm not, because I know I'm not doing what they want, so I just tell them I'm just going to make you a cheese pizza, and we'll go from there. After you try the cheese, you can play around, we'll do whatever. And I have so far never had someone come back and throw it in my face, so I must be doing the cheese okay.
The cheese is great. I've had that too. A little side note: I have had almost every pizza that they make here, except for some of the really fun specialty pizzas that they do, which that was going to be my next thing I wanted to lead into. So you do a special. Is that on a monthly basis? Is it weekly? How often do you alternate, and what kind of makes your?
I aim for every week, a new one every week. There's some that are going so well, I just have to do it for 2 weeks. Sure. But usually it's just 1 week. So what I have started doing is some of my best sellers I have added to my kind of greatest hits list here.
Oh, cool.
And so I try to keep a few of my specials on, but I really just do a new release once a week.
Okay. Yeah. So that means you guys can come weekly, more than weekly, whatever you prefer, but there's always going to be something new on there for you to try out. Can you go into detail about, we had one of the specials today, the 1732. Can you go into detail about how that brainchild came to be?
Well, we can try. So I have a master calendar in here that nobody gets to look at. And I kind of highlight what different days are and if there's holidays coming up or somebody's birthday or whatever. And I try to kind of get a pizza that is going to kind of go with the flow. So like on red, white, and blue holidays, I always do my red, white, and blueberry. I don't know if you've tried that one or not. I haven't tried that one yet. That one, it has a cult following. I get people that call me up to remind me, hey, Memorial Day is coming up. It's 4th of July. I'm like, dude, I know. I got
what
this.
What are the ingredients on that one?
So the red, white, I can tell you. The red, white, and blueberry is red onions. That's the red, cream cheese, and blueberries. But then I put bacon on it because
can't go wrong with bacon.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one is amazing. That one gets a little American flag on it too.
That's awesome. Cool. So yeah. So
you were asking about this one, though. Let me just go ahead and tell you. So this one is a President's Day special, and I've been thinking about this one for probably close to a year now. I knew I wanted to do cherries because George Washington cut down his dad's cherry tree, so I thought that would be fun. So I worked with a guy. His name is Max, and he owns Oi the Sausage. And he and I put together a special sausage to go on this pizza. So it has cherries and the sausage and brie cheese and baked garlic, and it's awesome. And I named it 1732 because that's the year George Washington was born.
It definitely was a hit for us, for sure. Super, super good. I'm a huge brie fan, so it's really hard for me to go wrong if it has brie on it. The cherries at first, when you mentioned it, I was like, I don't know. But then I tried it, and the combination of the two is fantastic. Yeah. It's like I worked at Maryhill for a while, and we do like a lot of different brie options and whatnot people could order. And we had our sweet brie, which had a jam over the top of it. And those cherries definitely mimicked like a jammy.
Yeah, they bring that in for sure.
It was really, really good, nice and tart too. Mm-hmm. So awesome. Well, yeah. So this has kind of been a quick overview of this place. Definitely come check it out if you're in the area. If you're not in the area, make an excuse to come by and have that excuse be stopping by this pizza joint because they are fantastic. So,
thank you.
Thank you, Wendy.
Yeah. See you guys.
Check these bad boys out. This has cherries on it. I think it was the George Washington, but it looks like sausage. And I know she's working with a specific company, but sausage, cherry, garlic. It's President's Day, I think, on Monday. So in 2 days from now, but it'll be 2 or 3 days past when you guys see this. But yeah, for President's Day, that's her President's Day special pizza. Pretty sick. I'm gonna try this pizza out now. Honestly, I think that's fucking perfect. This is interesting. It's really, really good. Never had any pizza like it before. So it's got like the cherries. That's like a perfect combination of like a, when you do brie and you do like a jam on it or whatever. Yeah. The cherries are like tart with that. Yeah. That's super good. So that's her, we've mentioned it before, but that's her special for President's Day. It's got cherries, garlic, sausage that she worked with a company to make. It looks really fucking good. This is her pepperoni. And it's got some of our favorite, I don't know where she gets this pepperoni, but it is fantastic. It's like that cup style pepperoni, but it's still large. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, Blake, you'll have to try this here in a second. And let me get down on one of these real quick.
Yeah, try it. It's fantastic. It's good stuff.
Okay, here we go.
The
Hold on.
bree's great. She said that she worked with another company, which we'll talk about a little bit, on the sausage for this too, which is great.
Do you taste like a little brown sugar or something in there? There's definitely a sweetness.
Like a sweet and savory brie combo. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
That's fantastic. I'm usually a person who will only order whatever I get at the time. Like, you know, like I'll only order pepperoni pizza. But I love the combination, and I think she kind of is opening me up to a little bit of like
Just a completely different atmosphere of pizza.
yeah, just getting us out of our territory.
And what's cool too, you haven't talked about the pairing yet, right?
Oh,
So what's really cool is that she, with the specialties that she does, she actually pairs various Brothers Cascadia beers off of that. And so this one is called Fingers Crossed.
yeah,
And we're going to find out.
it works. It works really well together for sure.
It does. Well, I mean, for our podcast, there could literally be nothing better than a pizza beer pairing. That
Mhm.
is amazing. So
Mhm.
super glad we found this place.
I'm gonna do a little bite and sip here.
Yeah.
That works really well. I mean, these people have their shit together for sure. I love them.
Crust, fantastic.
Oh yeah, I haven't even gotten there yet. Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, this pizza is cooked to absolute perfection. It really does not get a whole lot better than this. So, love it.
Okay, so I'm Anthony. Welcome back. We're going to do a quick interview now here. So tell me a little bit about your name of the place.
Okay. So my name's Christina. I run this business with my husband, John. I have 2 adult children who come and help me out whenever I need it. And then we have our friends' kids come and help out and work here. And I feel like everyone who works here really loves the food. So that's kind of like, that's the vibe that we're putting out, is really kind of passion for the food. Like, we love when people love the food. But everything from the name to the people working here means family for us. So like, the name is Le Roi, which means the goose in French. Okay. And our food is Creole, Cajun Creole Southern style. So my nephew could never say my name, Christina, when he was little. So he would call me Goostina. And then eventually he just started calling me Goose, which is super funny. And so that's what we decided to name the cart after, and then have our family work here. And a lot of these are like my mama's recipes. She lived in Erath, Louisiana before she passed. And so I called her.
That was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah.
What got you on Louisiana style food?
Yeah.
But great. Okay, cool. Yeah, and it's awesome that there's a fun backstory behind the name of it too. So Le Roi.
Le Roi. The idiot bird, the goose in French. So
very, very cool.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm getting to talk to you. I've had a few things on the menu. Okay. I was telling Wendy earlier too when we were interviewing the Hautebox that I come here pretty often.
Yeah.
I like the beer. So
I love that.
Love the food too.
Yeah.
But I've had the Cajun tacos and the po' boy from you guys so far.
Yes.
Cajun tacos with shrimp, loved them. But for somebody who maybe is newer to the like Southern style food or Creole style food, what direction would you point them in on your menu? Obviously, you're going to say everything's good, but there's got to be something that you're like, this is my go-to.
It's funny. Like, it just kind of depends on the day, because we made all of our favorites, but we can't make them every day. So like on Friday, you'll get jambalaya. On Thursday, usually we do alligator and gumbo, my mama's recipe. So we kind of break up like your standard specials all week long. And those are kind of the heart of, what we wanted to do when we, we called my mama and we were talking about recipes over the phone and just things of memory,
She's going through the cookbook. She's like, you're going to want this.
And then she sent us a couple recipes. So it was a lot of trial and error and sampling friends and family. But the po' boy is something that's super, my mama said, keep it simple. It's super simple. So if you're not super familiar with Cajun food or Creole style food, I always say start with the po' boy because it's hand-breaded shrimp. It's simple. It's good. The jambalaya is really good. Our Monte Cristo is pretty darn good. Okay. The beignets,
I was just about to ask about desserts
you can never go wrong with the beignets. Yes. I feel like we do a really good job, and there's a variance on them, how light and dark they are, depending, what's going on. But I like mine a little bit more kind of softer, doughy or pillowy, or some people like them a little darker. So, but our beignets are super great. I don't know. I guess it just kind of depends on what you're feeling. Sometimes we'll do like a weird fried bologna sandwich with a habanero bacon pickle spread, and then it just kind of depends. But
So
we love to eat.
People
So
who don't know, because I might be one of those people, the Monte Cristo. Can you elaborate on what that is?
So there's two different Monte Cristos. Ours is going to be basically it's a ham and cheese sandwich. We dip it in waffle batter and we deep fry it and we dust it with powdered sugar.
Oh wow!
So when our kids were growing up, we would make that for brunch on Sundays, and they would dip theirs in syrup. But a lot of places do jam. But I do have a berry compote if somebody wants. I can put that on the side.
Cool.
But
Okay.
it's traditionally with the berry compote. But I make everything the way we cook it at home.
Yeah.
So there's a variant, in that. But yeah, that's our.
Well, we saw a huge line of people. We've tried to interview her for like the last hour or so. Every time we walk up, there's like another line of people showing up. So people love the place. I've had it. It's great.
Yeah.
Definitely come by. But out of curiosity for you, I don't know if you mentioned it, but how long have you guys been open here?
So we've been open for it'll be 7 years in
7 years?
October.
Okay.
Yeah. And then my husband, he worked in Portland, and I worked in managing restaurants for years.
Okay,
and
so you've been in the industry.
Yeah, our kids finally grew up, and we were like, we love food. We want to eat all day. Like, what else could you do? Park outside a brewery and cook and eat all day,
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of
nothing wrong with some Creole food and a good beer.
That's what we ended up doing. But
I was talking with Wendy earlier too, and she was mentioning that she'd been kind of in the works with you too about talking about trying to gain more foot traffic. Obviously, you guys don't have a huge problem with that because there's been lines out the door since we've been here. But I'm working on foot traffic for the Hazel Dell Commons area. So
yeah,
I mean, other than like you guys have great food and come on by, is there anything you'd like to tell people? Hey,
I guess like Wendy's local to us. Our family like I lived here since I was 17. My kids, like we've grown here. Bao and Jeb, who own the Saigon cart, are amazing. They live in this community. Like this is community. Steve, who owns the Mighty Bowl, owns a few locations, but these are like local community people that the food is good. They do live music here, and everybody's welcome. And that's kind of like the best part about this is we all work together and everybody is welcome. You can bring the family, you can bring the kids, you can bring not the kids. There's a place kind of for everybody to fit. And so I think that's the part that I like, that it kind of feels like a good episode of Cheers, like everybody's welcome and everybody knows your name.
Fair
so
enough. No, and that's perfect too.
Yeah,
I know I have noticed since we've been here, having a beer or two and checking out all the different spots. It seems like if not every customer that's come up has been like, hey, introduce themselves, like, or said, hey, so and so, I know you by name, or it's been really cool that you guys seem to know everybody that you're serving too.
Yeah,
so
we just really
a lot of repeat customers, which is a good thing.
Yeah,
so
I think we just all really love the people that come, and they love our food. So like, they'll get a pizza or they'll get spring rolls and they'll get a salad and they'll come here for beignets, and so it just feels. It's just good. So we're super lucky, and it's just it's a good spot, and it feels good to be here. So
no, it's great. Yeah, it's super, super great. Everything we've had has been awesome. So
thanks.
I think with that, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
Come by.
Yeah. Thanks so much for coming out. I really appreciate you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Cool.
Here's that cute poop. Yeah.
Talk about what you're doing, Dylan.
Right now, I am consuming a beignet, which is a southern style sort of donut, a crispy pastry. I was just in Louisiana a couple months ago. This is just like that. It is, outside of Louisiana, it is the best beignet I've had ever. Also the fifth one I've had ever, but they're really good.
And where is it from in the Hazel Dell Commons here?
In the Hazel Dell Commons, it's from
Les Bois.
Les Bois.
Les Bois.
I'm not that good at pronouncing Cajun names, but
so
Les Bois.
Amazing.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And we're rolling.
All right, so I just ordered from Bahn Mi Saigon, and for the recommendation of Anthony, I got the lemongrass chicken and add a fried egg to that. Very excited to take my first bite here. They included some fresh jalapenos on the side, which I'm going to sprinkle on. And here's my first bite. Really going for it here. I got a lot of vegetables.
That was the most psychotic way to take a first bite I've ever seen. Why would you do that? Eat it from the side, bro.
I didn't get any meat, but I will say that the freshness of the vegetables is on point. It's very cold, fresh like that.
Do you eat hot dogs from the middle?
Yeah. He eats his hamburger from the top.
It's for the engagement, bro. Okay, I still haven't got any meat, so
Other tables are looking at you. Even kids are like, that's how you're supposed to do it.
okay. So I'm gonna take a normal bite now.
It's too late.
There you go.
So we gotta get through the bread and the vegetables, but they are quite good. Got a lot of sauce on here. Okay, here's the first bite of meat. It's hot, warm, great flavor.
Glad that he has like a full beard for this too, so I can just get caked with everything possible. He's gonna have a second meal.
I ordered the fried egg. They said that's under the meat. I'm waiting to find out.
Okay, wrap it up.
All I can say is I'm thoroughly enjoying it. It's a great flavor profile. Good balance of hot and cold. One's not overpowering the other. It's a nice juxtaposition. Different flavors and temperatures. Cold slice approved.
This has been the Cold Slice. I know you've seen it. We've shown you all of it at this point, as much as we can anyway. It's been really dependent on the owners. Now, Brothers Cascadia, we have met the owners. We haven't asked permission to film inside. But the Hazel Dell Commons area, you've just met two of the owners. They are fantastic, wonderful people. It's been clear to us the entire time they've been here, which has been about 3 hours, that they have a loyal following. They have good food. There is nothing better in the Hazel Dell area than what they have going on right now. So, with that being said, check out the pizza joint, check out the Cajun spot. Thanks for watching the Cold Slice Podcast.
The Cold Slice, yeah!